So it's today, and today is Thursday. There is a vlog uploading that's been uploading since it's Thursday morning at 10:20. There's a vlog uploading that's been uploading since 5 o'clock yesterday evening, and I've just cancelled it and restarted it. We have no internet, so the vlog will be using 4G to upload. That might be the problem, but that is what I upload with normally. But 4G's been a bit iffy since the storm on Sunday. In the vlog, I have told you that we lost Mrs. Maron. I allowed the chickens out for the first time on Sunday afternoon. And then yesterday, which was Wednesday, it might have been Monday afternoon. Yesterday, we were siestaing around about 1:30, and I heard shouting, chicken shouting. And I was thinking somebody's laid an egg, because it's the same sort of shouting that they do when they've laid an egg. And then when we woke up, I said to Mark, I heard chicken shouting out there. I think somebody's laid an egg. And he went out and had a look round, couldn't find Mrs. Maron. And there's a mess of black feathers over by the bamboo where the other one went missing from. Much more of a mess than before. And which makes me think it was a young fox. Either that or Mrs. Maron put up a good fight. But you can see where they've dragged it through there's feathers as it's dragged through the hedge. So she's gone. And this is why we don't make pets of our chickens or name them or, do anything that we own them and we have a connection with them. But so many years now we've lost chickens that the shock and trauma of losing a chicken is far less than it used to be. So I said to Mark, I'll have a look and see if I can find any expatriate hens on Le Bon Coin. And didn't, but did find some hens that were 25 minutes away. And I just thought, I want to, well, first of all, we had a conversation. I've said this in the video I've uploaded that you haven't got yet, that isn't uploading. We did sit and discuss it for 5 or 10 minutes. Do we want to continue with chickens? Do we want to carry on? Are we up for this? And, the pros and cons, and the pros won. So I contacted the woman on Le Bon Coin and sorted out how many chickens hens we wanted, and went over yesterday afternoon, travelled over, which is when I made the vlog. So it's a road trip because it's amazing cloud around. There were storms around, and picked up 4 hens, and 3 of them are naked necks. So they look like mini vultures. And one of them isn't a naked neck. I don't know what it is, but it's not a naked neck. Maybe it was bred from the same hen and cockerel, but it didn't breed out as a naked neck. It's not unusual. So we've got 4 new hens. And as we travelled home with them, we've got, from years ago, we've got a proper transporting cage for hens. So they were in the back, quite noisy to begin with, and then they went quiet. Just as we got down the bottom of the road here, the storm started, because you'll see from the road trip, we're surrounded by amazing looking weather. The storm started, it was really quiet, it was a big flash. It was like, oh God, not again, and a big crash. Got home here and it was raining and stormy. So we opened up the boot just so that they were open. They're under the carport, but open so that they'd got air going in, and waited for the storm to pass before we took them down. But when we opened the boot and you looked in the cage, they're all sitting facing forward in the cage. They look like they're sitting in a row, looking out, watching the journey. Well, they wouldn't have been able to see it because our seats would have been in the way, but it just looks so cute. So after about an hour, we took them down and put them in the coop to be closed into the coop. Put them in there. they weren't happy about it. But then, it's like, oh my God, this is, I don't, where am I? What's going on? And then managed to get Mrs. Brahma in. Left Mrs. Brahma inside the chicken area, but so contained away from the fox, but not in the coop. We left her, and then we went down at about 8 o'clock, 8:30, and put her in. She wasn't impressed. She made she was quite grumpy, quite vocal, not loud, but quite, what's going on here? Who are these? They're in my coop. But they were all like, oh, what's that? Because she's not the same colour as them, so she looks different. Strange surroundings, strange thing in our coop, the coop that we're in. So that was it. Left them locked in. I went down this morning to let Mrs. Brahma out into the enclosure, and they were all up in one corner, didn't even notice me there. And she was sort of, a bit off, but they didn't notice me. She came out into the enclosure, and I've left them to it. Mark went down about an hour later to have a look, and they're still not out. So that's fine. It'll take them a long time to become adventurous. I mean, just being in the coop, because it's the size of a garage, just being in there with all the things to look at, and the straw and the roost and all of the stuff in there will keep them busy, because where they came from wasn't as luxurious. You've seen inside our chicken coop. To you look at it and think it's not fucking luxurious, but if you compare it to where they had come from, it's luxurious. They were in a dark shed. I don't know whether she'd closed them up because we were coming, but even the bit outside of the dark shed was just a bare ground that had, a small piece of bare ground that had nothing, no greenery on it, nothing stimulating on it. So when we bring chickens here, even though you've seen it, it's quite luxurious compared to how many of the chickens are kept in France. Many of the animals are kept in France. So she'd got pigs, because as we came out, there were pigs as we walked past over a wall next door, and just 2 pigs, and that looked pretty grotty. It was smelly. It was a big farm, and it was smelly, but whatever. So 4 chickens replaced Mrs. Maron very quickly, which for some of you might feel a bit wrong, but it's what we do. We don't go through a bereavement process, because we'd be doing that a lot. So today it's quite cool outside, hence me being inside. I don't know whether it's going to be stormy again. It's grey. As we left or attempted to leave yesterday, there was a cherry picker up the phone pole dead opposite our driveway, and our neighbour, who I won't name, was there. So I think he must have been cut off in the storm. Shame. So the guy was up there sorting out the box, and we thought, oh, that's good. Maybe when we come back, we'll have internet. So he wasn't up there long. He was up there 3 or 4 minutes. We sat waiting on the drive, and then we drove off. He drove off, we drove off, and off we went to get the chickens. And then when we got back, we hadn't got internet. Oh, there's somebody at the door. Hold tight. I have no idea what I was talking about before I went to the door. So yes, got back, no internet. And then very briefly, about an hour later, we had internet. And it was like, yes, it's back. And it lasted about 20 minutes, and then it's gone again. So the person at the gate was our neighbour Manuel. He, of course, because that's how he is. He said when he heard the storm, he got up and unplugged everything. Of course he did. We don't do that and haven't done that. So I think he probably has internet. And I asked him if he'd got internet, and the reason he was at the door, there was somebody with him, and it was about changing keys for the bins at the end of the road. So he said, I'll come back. I'll come back when this man's finished and have if you've got a few moments. I'm thinking, oh, God, a few moments is about 10 hours. So I don't know what he's going to come and say. We know that we're waiting for Orange to sort it out. I thought that's what was happening yesterday with the man up the cherry picker. And so we're just waiting. And I made the other day, and I may have mentioned it, a keto dish called, well, I took it as a kit from a keto recipe of buffalo chicken. And it was okay, but it wasn't as unctuous as the recipe has suggested, because I made it with what I had and actually didn't cook the broccoli first. I think you need to parboil at least the broccoli first. It had broccoli in it. Buffalo chicken probably doesn't, but the dish was chicken, broccoli, cheddar cheese, and various other bits and pieces. So today I've done it in advance to make sure it's well cooked, broccoli's cooked. I cooked chickens yesterday. That's probably why Mrs. Maron was taken, because I was cooking chickens. It was my retribution. And so yeah, I've just cooked that, and it's got hot sauce in it, and I'm hoping that it's not too hot, that I've been haven't overdone the hot sauce, because I don't want to ruin the whole dish. So that's just cooked in the oven and just finished. It's only 10:30, but I wanted it done so that it could settle and do its thing. So that should be nice for dinner. It's very filling, very sustaining, and is really, really low carb, because the only carbs in it are from the vegetables, from the broccoli. This has got romaine. Is it romaine cauliflower? The greeny, pointy. It's not romaine, is it? Romanesco, something like that. It's got that in it as well as broccoli. So I'm looking forward to having that. We actually had it for lunch the other day, and we had it for supper, which was, for me, was great, because it was a very easy, low carb result thing. And I think we'll probably do the same today. And I've lost a kilo, finally. So, and we haven't been really that good since my birthday. We've been okay, but I haven't been as careful since my birthday, because we were, sort of discombobulated without electricity, without the internet, and all of that. So it just goes to show, I think it's the eating window that makes the big difference, is sticking to just 6 hours. The intermittent fasting, that really works. So yeah, so that's what's going on. I'm going to stop now, because I think Manuel will be here in a minute, and then that'll be it. Thankfully, I've cooked the dinner. That's good. That I've done the dinner. It's cooked. It's in the oven, just sitting now. The oven's off. All of that's done, so I can relax if he's here and not worry about, oh, I've got to go and do this, I've got to go and do that. Okay, so eventually you'll get this, but you'll get the road trip first. So I'm sorry it's yet another road trip, but tant pis. Okay, bye.